Hi guys, Steve Girardi here. Welcome to Steve Strings. Today I have a really special review for you. Today we'll be reviewing a long neck soprano ukulele built by a local San Antonio luthier. His name is Brian Wright, and I met him through the San Antonio Luthiers group. So again, I met him at this group meeting, and typically we would bring different instruments to the meeting to kind of show off what we're working on. And he brought this instrument. And I saw this and picked it up and just started salivating. What a beautiful instrument this is. Let me go ahead and go over the details of this and show you just what a beautiful instrument this is. For starters here, you can see that this has a very dark wood headstock. And I don't know what this is, and neither does Brian, because he used some wood that he recycled from an old piece of furniture. It's plainly some kind of exotic, tropical hardwood, but what it is exactly, he doesn't know. But you can see here that he has this cap of this one type of material on the headstock with a neck that he's not quite sure of what it is. You can see here he does have these Graph-Tech tuners. He has a string spacer here rather than a nut, and that string spacer, fingerboard, bridge, and saddle are all made of local mesquite that grows down here in Texas. You can see he has a 0 fret here. He has a total of, 14 frets. He has 13 frets to the body, nickel silver frets. And he has a beautiful mother of pearl inlay here, and you can just see how tight and how nicely done that is. For the position markers on the player's side, he used sterling silver wire as the position markers, and they are very bright. They stand out quite well. You can see that this instrument has a heel of different types of woods. And not only that, but you'll see that the back of this instrument is one piece of wood and is contiguous with the heel. That is to say that the actual back material is the final heel cap on that heel. And you do not see that every day. In fact, I don't think you'll see that in a factory-built instrument. You only see that on a luthier-built instrument. Also, it's worth noting that the construction of this instrument is kind of unique, in that this is not a typical kind of a neck you see at a factory where they basically make the neck, they drill a hole in it, put a peg on, drill a hole in the body, and then just sort of glue them together. This is what's referred to as a Spanish heel. That is to say that the neck has slots that are cut into the side of it that is then slid onto the body. And I'll put a picture up here so you can see what a Spanish heel looks like. So as I said, it's not certain of what kind of wood this is, but you can see it is a dark tropical hardwood. And it has an interesting grain. I mean, not a lot of like flame or anything, but it's an interesting grain. Also, you can see it has that mesquite bridge and mesquite saddle. You can see this is the type of bridge where you put the strings through the hole, you tie a knot and then pull them back up through. Now, this instrument, I'm not even sure you can see it because it's really dark in there, but it has kerfing all the way around, and it is not notched kerfing, but it is rather strips of solid wood that have been bent to conform with the body and have then been beveled. You can see from this instrument, it is a dull color, and that's because it is basically just an oiled wood. And I'll tell you, I have looked this thing all over, and having spoken with Brian, his goal is to strive for perfection in his builds and get as close as he can. And I'll tell you, he's pretty much achieved that in this instrument. I mean, this thing is just beautifully done. The workmanship is just excellent. I've looked this thing over. There are no finish flaws anywhere. I mean, this thing is just absolutely beautiful. I've got some stats I can tell you about on this. He describes this as a long neck soprano, in that it has a soprano-sized body, and I have some dimensions here for you. The overall length of the instrument is 22 inches long, so plainly longer than a typical soprano. The body length is 9¼ inches long. It's 5 inches across at the upper bout, 7 inches across at the lower bout. The nut or 0 fret width is something that a lot of people will like. It's a 38 millimeter wide 0 fret, so it's a nice wide neck. And if you take a look at the thickness of this, I'm not sure if you can really see that. This is one skinny neck. The neck thickness here at the 3rd fret is, 9/16 of an inch. So this is only a little over a ½ an inch thick at the neck. This is very, very thin, and hopefully you can see that profile. It is very, very flat. This isn't like a C shape. This is like a very flattened D. I mean, it is a flat bottom. The action on this instrument is 2.75 millimeters, or about 7/64 of an inch at the 12th fret. Let's see, I talked about the overall length. Oh yeah, and the scale length on this is 14½ inches. So 22 inches overall length, 14½ inch scale length. So you may have figured out by now that I'm really quite taken with this instrument. You heard a bit of sound during the intro. I'll play a little more for you. Again, this is tuned G, C, E, A. And this is strung with the Dario strings. It has decent sustain. Very bright. Got a decent bark to it there. So there you have it, another sound sample. Again, Brian sells his instruments on Etsy, and he has a couple instruments there now. And I'll put up a picture here to show kind of some of the types of instruments he's built. But this is available right now on Etsy for $250. $250 for a hand-built, one-of-a-kind instrument. So if you're looking for something like that, this is definitely one you should be checking out. I hope you've enjoyed today's review of this long neck soprano ukulele by the local luthier Brian Wright from down here in San Antonio. If you enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of the instruments that I review and also the instruments that I build, please subscribe. Love to have you come back and see more. Thanks for watching.